Remember your first day in clinic? Can't wait. You've been working to this day your entire time all through chiropractic school. You finally get in there like, oh yes, can't wait to go ahead and adjust people and get them better. And then all of a sudden you realize, hey, wait a second, what's all this paperwork stuff? Dr. John DeVille of Custom Chiro Solutions, and I remember it like it was yesterday. Truth is that all these things happen again later when you get into practice. So if you're a student, that feeling is going to happen again when you go start and practice, because the documentation process that takes place in school is very different from the documentation process that takes place when you get into the field. They're not the same. And most of us who've been through that process realize that way after the fact because no one ever told us that. Now, here's what happens. The problem that we have is that most people aren't ready to go ahead and transition from school into being in practice. That's not a bad thing. It's not a negative thing. They just aren't. And the reason is because most chiropractors are lopsided bodybuilders. Now, what I mean is they work on one set of actions. They work on arms and chest and arms and chest and arms and chest and arms and chest, meaning they work on patient management. They work on public speaking. They work on technique. They work on education. They work on all these things. But they never work on the one thing that would get them in trouble, which is compliance. Now, here's the reason why. The reason why this takes place is because most doctors will go through everything they're going through and say, I'm going to make this my rule, and then I'm going to make this my rule, and then I'm going to do this thing, and I'm going to manage it this way. And they do all these things except the right things. Why? Because they don't understand what's out there and what the rules are. And I have this comment that I love to make when I'm teaching seminars, which is, in the absence of rules, people make them up. Now, what's the big deal? Why don't people want to actually pay attention to the compliance side of practice? I think that's because they think they're either going to give something up or they're going to lose something if they actually start to try and be compliant. Truth is, it's not a you can't have your cake and eat it too. This game actually is you can have your cake and eat it too. Now close your eyes for a second. Just imagine, what if you could have the practice you wanted, be compliant, and practice from a position of power? Truth is, most people want to be compliant, but they're afraid. Here's the reason why. Can you have an upper cervical practice that is compliant? Absolutely. Can you have the majority of a wellness practice that is compliant? Absolutely. Can you practice in such a way in which using technique that may not be paid for by a carrier that is compliant? Absolutely. It can be done. All those things can be done. We just have to know where and when it fits in with all the rules we have to follow when it comes to giving a patient a super bill, or even just documenting it so that a state board might not have an issue at a later date. Those are the two things that we have to worry about. After that, the game is easily won because the technique that you use, the patient management style that you use, all those things have nothing to do with what we talked about before. Now, if you'd like something like that, please do us a favor, reach out. My phone number is 800-974-3479, or you can email us info@customchirosolutions.com, or you can actually go to our website, customchirosolutions.com. Go ahead and reach out to us. We customize 33 different EHR systems. We have well over 1,600 customizations out in the field, and our post-payment denial rate is next to zero. So like I said, if you'd like more information, please reach out to us. I look forward to hearing from each and every one of you real soon. Thanks, everyone. This is Dr. John DeVille. Take care. Have a great day.